laying around. She's already got a bunch of them laying around. So I've got my own little private box stuff that I make. I'll show it to you in a minute. Anyway,
Sure.
hey everybody, and welcome to Drone Therapy. So basically tonight, what I was wanting to talk about, since the weather's starting to break and everything, is that you know how it is. It's springtime. You start checking out your batteries. You pull everything that's kind of been in storage and in sleep mode. You're dragging them back out because the weather's starting to get good again. Although it's kind of weird. I know that Bud said that he was getting some rain and snow his way, and we're supposed to be getting severe weather tonight with golf ball size hail. So I don't know. So anyway, let me read this script we got going. Hello, drone enthusiasts, and welcome to Drone Therapy. I'm Bill Thomas, and today we're going to be talking about something I know you all are excited about: springtime flying. If you've been itching to take your drone out of the bag and into the sky, now's the perfect time. The weather's warming up, the flowers are blooming, and the possibilities for breathtaking drone shots are endless. But of course, it's not just where you fly; it's how you fly. I'm going to share some fantastic tips for getting the best shots when Ron gets here, and how to edit them to make your footage look professional and ready for YouTube. So grab your remote, fire up your drone, and let's dive into the world of springtime drone flying. So I guess the first thing to talk about is, what's one of your favorite places to fly at, Randy? I guess I should get the comments over here. Wait a minute, why am I not hearing Randy?
Sorry, I was muted. One of my favorite places to fly is the Susquehanna River. There's like 4 bridges, big bridges going over it down here in Perryville, Maryland, and it breaks out into the bay, and it's just an awesome spot to fly.
Well, the thing about it is I've been putting stuff up on YouTube for 8 or 9 years, and I don't travel super far. Like occasionally I'll go down and I'll hang out with Angel when Angel's not shackled to his job like he is right now.
Mhm.
Anyway, but sometimes I go down to the city, but most of the time I fly in my backyard. So people see a lot of Hat Island that's out behind my house and the same bay and everything. And they've seen it 10 or 12 million times.
Yeah, same
So
here.
so when I put up a video, they're like, ooh, wow, ooh, ah, we've seen this before, Bill. Can you drive 5 minutes and go somewhere? So, I guess maybe this springtime I'll try to get out more. But, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not going to
Yeah,
be able to make any of the meetups or anything like that. So,
you're in an awesome spot up there in Washington.
yeah, I guess it's okay. But like I said, when I first started talking, it's we're supposed to get severe weather tonight with golf ball sized hail.
Mm.
Bud said he was early, so let's see. Let me scroll back up here. Akira Show, drone shots, USA Drone Flyer, Captain Joe, excuse me, Skyfly Network. Keep rolling. Let me see if there's somebody I've not seen coming in yet. Steve, make it happen videos. Glad to see you. Thank you for coming in. Rolling on FTFO Media. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in. Hi, some drone guy. Glad to have you in the house as well. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to get. Hey, there's Dale. Glad to see you, Dale. Kurt. Thank you for coming in, Kurt. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to have you here. Flew today. Ooh, did an update on the golf course. Very cool. Let's see. Mark, glad to see you as well. Glad to have you in the house. Okay, Randy telling people hello, glad to have you. Okay, so Randy's just mentioned about where he likes to fly at. Where do you like when you first get your drone back out and you're starting to fly again? People here in the chat, you've heard me mention I tend to fly in my backyard. I like to do that a lot. Randy's talking about flying near his home. Where's some of the most favorite places you all like to fly? Like when you first get your drone back out, and you're making sure everything's hunky-dory and you're checking to make sure you don't get that weird motor ring, which sometimes I do, from my Mavic 3, and it scares me.
I have a perfect spot. It's about, if you go through the woods, it's about 150 yards from my house. It's a sports complex where there's 2 baseball fields, football field, soccer field, and there's never anybody there. So it's like a perfect place to go test out a new build, or if you want to mess with your settings and need some space. And I love it because it's literally right by my house.
Well, that's like I said, is the convenient thing about me is at least
Yeah.
there's water a mile and a half from my house. So, if I raise up 200 feet, then yeah, it's a good view. But people have seen it so many times, they're like, because I remember
Yeah.
when Billy and Ken and them used to be on here, they'd be like, can you get out of your backyard? And even Caleb and them they'd all give me the same thing, you gonna get out of your backyard? You gonna get out of your backyard? So hopefully I will attend one or two more of the drone meetups this year and can get there. Hey, Johnny Drone Flyer, glad to have you as well. Okay, I'm still asking. Okay, here we go, Steve. Lots of cool places in California are off limits. Yeah, I understand that. Like here, though, in Washington State, technically you can file for a permit to get like a ranger to go with you, and you can fly in Washington State parks as long as you have a ranger in tow. Now, I'm not sure how many of the parks themselves, I'll have allowances for a ranger to do that. I only think probably maybe three or four. I'm not 100% sure. But it's kind of cool that you could actually register and fly in a state park if because they'll watch what you're doing and make sure you don't do anything illegal, that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. He had a really good show. They had a bunch of people that were coming down to Florida and talking about getting stuff ready for Florida. And Johnny was talking about, mowing your grass and doing stuff like that last minute to make sure. Well, no. So when you come back, you at least got, a day and a half to wind down before you have to go start doing all the chores and stuff again. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got what he was saying.
I took off on Monday, because I'll be coming back Sunday night. I take off Monday and then go back to work Tuesday.
Well, that's not too bad. You're getting paid for Monday, of course. You
Yes,
use your
sir.
vacation time. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So I guess one of the other interesting places that you're going to fly would be the South Florida drone meetup, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
So you're going to be flying
no doubt.
a lot of water. Are you what drones are you taking down there?
Oh, probably everyone I got.
Really,
Um,
probably everyone you got.
while I'm driving, so I can take everything. I'm taking the Air 3, the Avata 2, my 5-inch, my 3.5-inch, and then the new micro whoop I just built. Definitely gonna be taking that.
Oh yeah, you were. I've noticed you were talking about the Whoop because I saw Gary was talking about
Oh my
welcome to the
God, man!
Whoop world.
It's so fun. Like, I love flying drones, man, but that little whoop, it makes your whole world a lot smaller. Like, you can fly in tight little areas where, like, with a 5-inch you wouldn't dare go. I mean, it's awesome. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, okay, so you're going to get down there and fly next to the beach or next to the
Uh,
water down there?
I'm not
The
sure
Whoop?
exactly where I'm not. I don't have no, no plans. Once I get there, if I see something, that I want to fly, I'll probably bust it out. But because it weighs 40 grams. It's ducted. I mean, the props aren't even screwed on; they're just pressed on. So if a prop hits you, it's just gonna fly off.
Well, that's what I think about too. Is plus like a big gust of wind out there, it might blow it right out into the water.
Yeah, if it's windy, it's not gonna be out much.
Yeah, I was wondering, but
But
I've
believe it or
never
not, it's pretty darn powerful for as small as it is. It's a 2S. It's got a lot of power.
I've never built any built any drones or anything. I've just been kind of the push me, pull you, firmware update kind of guy. So I don't
hmm
know. And my vision's not good enough to where I have helping hands and stuff, but I haven't. I need a better. I have like one of those cheap, hardware store soldering irons that might heat up to like, what, 200 degrees, I
I
guess.
could, man, it's tough. I have a mounted magnifying glass. I think it's 20 times magnification, and I got another magnifying glass out and was like doubling them up to see. It gets pretty tedious, that's for sure.
Okay, so let me get back to where I had this stuff that I'd written up. So basically, we're talking about different places to fly, and we've all kind of briefly said a few things. I was trying to get the chat more involved about. We had some one or two answers to the question of where do you like to fly. So what I'm going to talk about is like Randy's talking about countryside places or countryside fields. I've got some like farms over inland towards me a little bit to where I could go fly over there. I've done that before where they're kind of like near a river or a creek or something. That's kind of cool. And you can going over a lush green fields with wildflowers blooming. The vastness of the countryside make it from perfect wide angle shots. That kind of thing. Let's see what else. Coastal areas and beaches. We're all talking about stuff like that. Randy's getting ready to go down there to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Is going to be right there on the beach. He's going to be taking pictures there. We're talking about larger areas like me, right in my backyard. There's a big beach. I could actually fly up and you can actually see lots of water out there, and some little islands and stuff out there. Plus, mountain views is another place that you can try to go to sometimes and get pictures of. Like I've got some snow-capped mountains here, but they're a good ways away, so I'd have to drive out of every little ways to actually get some better pictures of them, or head over towards Snohomish or something, maybe that way, and get some pictures. Besides that, if you happen to live near a city and you can get clearance where you're at, always the urban landscapes and like the architecture and stuff, and the the lines and stuff are really cool that you can get in cities sometimes. Those are all kind of epic kind of shots and stuff like that.
I'm itching to fly a city at night. I haven't flown a city yet, but it's coming.
Well, see, that's my problem. I can't figure out what my issue is. I can't push myself into my car to drive like 30 minutes and be in Seattle till I could fly all the nights. You've seen Angel posted stuff, Lance has posted stuff, but I've yet to get down there, and I've been living here for like going on 15 years, and I go by the city all the time, drive by the needle all the time, but fly the drone. Maybe in the city I've flown it 4 times.
You gotta get up early one morning, get there before sunrise. That's my favorite time to fly.
Well,
Is
that's
sunrise.
the thing. That's the thing about if I do that, because like Angel and Lance would go down there, they'll meet in the mornings, and then they'll go on to work. But see, me, I'd have to turn around, and I'd have to, because for me, like I said, for me to get into the city, I had to leave probably about 45 minutes earlier to miss the traffic so that I could be with them. And then I'd have to be like, okay, I only got 4 hours of sleep last night. Okay, let's drive back home now. Oh, wow, all right. And then get back home and then try to work. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being that word. So I don't want to have to bleep it and don't want to have to get in trouble. Let's see. McMurphy Park near Vader. Vader, Washington is great for flying. I have to remember some of these places. Okay, we got 22 here. Let me see. Okay, well, I'll go back to my notes here, and we'll just keep on going if y'all. Okay, how about this? Ron will be here sometime, maybe, possibly, could be. I think maybe he was going to eat dinner real quick and then try to make it in. So I'm not sure how late he was intending on being, or if he was going to make it. Angel's been AWOL for months now, man. I don't know. I think they're just working the poor boy so much that he doesn't get to do anything but kiss his wife goodbye and say, okay, honey, good night. That kind of thing.
So, hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess. But he doesn't get a whole lot of free time. Back from Okinawa Island in central Bahamas. Flew my drone over a few beaches there. Very cool. Yes, that's super cool. That's super cool,
Eczema Island. It sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, it does kind of sound odd, doesn't it? Different.
Eczema
Well, there's
Island.
Ron seen it. Okay. I haven't seen him come in yet, but let's see, where are we at here? Oh. Okay, so we're gonna go squirrel, but we're still gonna stay drone for a moment. I had found a picture. What was it? Probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Randy, wasn't it? Of a new device from DJI supposedly coming out. Okay, and I was like, I don't know if it's fake. I don't know if it's real. And then, so I did a little bit more digging, and okay, so now I've actually looked and I found this on. Okay, come on, where are you? There it is. Found this on Twitter X. What do you want to call it? And it's really hard.
I think it's legit. I
I
think
don't
it's
know,
legit.
man.
All signs. If you look at, the writing on the wall.
Yeah, because they've been selling the hell out of,
Dropping
Okay,
price.
okay, so it's not anything major. It's nothing, over the top, but it does seem to be like a standard DJI trailer. Okay, so it should start over. Come on. There we go. So tomorrow, supposedly. It looks like a big new battery, or it could just be them faking it.
It
I don't
looks
know.
thicker than the original.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't translated it, but it could be. But because the DJI Power 2000 did hit the FCC database like 2 or 3 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, there was an article about it on Drone XL, I think was. But I had found this, and I'm just like, it keeps showing it, and it looks like something that they would do, because we never see stuff like this here in the U.S. because they don't think that batteries sell that well. I don't guess. Anyway, so we have to see. So let me bring you back down, pull it back out, remove from the scene, and stop the share. Cool. Hey, it worked that time. I didn't blind anything out. So I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, what are the rules on a plane? Yeah, you have to take your batteries with you in the carry-on. Anything that has a lithium battery in it, you have to have in the carry-on. It's got to be below, what is it, like 15%? Some of them aren't really hard asses about it. I know some airlines you can get on it, and I've seen people in front of me get on planes with full batteries, and they've not really done anything. I mean, I went to Hawaii literally, and I was like, "Oh, dude, it's my first time," and I had 16 batteries in my
Good
carry-on,
Lord.
and he let me on with it. He did. He said, "Man, that's a lot of batteries." I was like,
Well, I think Joe was saying that you can carry like 30 of them on or something. 30, 40 of them.
Yes, the DJI Power 2000 hit the FCC database probably, like I said, 3 or 4 days ago. I'm not 100% sure if that's the video, but it's kind of weird because I found it and 2 or 3 days later it hit the database. So I'm like, oh, this is, I don't know for sure or not, but if not, they did a good job. Oh, there you go. I looked at it, but I didn't get one. I mean, I've heard everybody talking great about it, that it's a good thing. So it is airlines. Yeah, it is airline specific. Yeah. I even showed that picture to Dale. I asked him, I said, "Is there a new battery coming out?" And he's like, "I don't know." He didn't know either. Let's see. Hey, Bob. We got to have you in the house, Bob. Bob shaved again. That shows how behind the times I am. I need to send Lloyd something. I need to quit procrastinating from everything. I'm like so far behind on life, it seems like. Let me get back over here. Okay. So, hopefully Ron will be coming sometime, possibly, maybe. I don't know. Ron, where are you, Ron? No, he went to eat, maybe. Let's see. Where was I at? Okay, so here's the thing about we're talking about flying techniques because we already talked about all the cool places to fly, like if you're at the beach, like if you're in the fields, if you're looking at mountains, or you're in a city. So the first thing one of your first things might be the reveal shot. We've all seen that, like where you're hiding something and then you pop your drone out from behind it, and that's the kind of the opening shot and stuff like that. Or you want to do a cinematic move, kind of like maybe where you're chasing a train, but you want to kind of start on the left side of the train and then work your way around to the front side of the train as you're chasing it. So that would be kind of a cinematic shot. Or you could actually just channel the drone right onto it, do a tracking shot, track it all the way down through there. Another interesting, unique technique they call the dolly zoom. You can do that in post. Actually, doesn't the Air 3 and the Air 3S do that in software automatically now?
Air 3. I don't know if the Air 3 does. I haven't seen it.
I think
But
it's
I
the
wish
Air
it
3.
did, because I ain't worth a damn at the dolly zoom.
Well, what I was saying is I think maybe it doesn't at the Air 3S. I think it will do it in the software.
That's pretty cool. I know one of the things that I've been wanting out of most drones is to be able to adjust the sensitivity on the zoom wheel, because you pull it a little bit and it just automatically goes as I mean there's no speed control on the zoom.
I don't remember that. I don't, like I said, I'm one of these people that I like taking pictures and photos. I like taking photos a lot more than I do video. So, um, honestly, no, because the last time that he actually, spoke to me was probably 2 years ago, and I know he's shown up on Ken Dono's show, or Ken has done some stuff, and I do know that Billy lives up there. I do know that he used to kind of, when Dono was in town, he might go hang out with him a little bit, but I don't know who the right person to put you in touch with to find out. I mean, I myself would like to know because I worry about the guy, but
Ron might know. He's over there near him.
well, I think Ron is like the rest of us. We all have his phone number, but he doesn't always answer the text.
Right. I'd be
So,
interested to see how he's doing.
for me, that didn't pass the smell test. But
Right.
anyway, there's nothing that I can have to do that. Oh, the Atom 2 has a dolly zoom as well.
Hmm.
So that's another technique. Oh, something completely squirrel, right? I'm just going to tell you all this because my foot's kind of still aggravating me, but I did cut ice on it right in time. But my wife got these really nice pots and pans, Callaway, I think it was, from our daughter in law. So I was making some hard boiled eggs last night. And so I boiled them and then I covered them so that they would stay and, finish it cooking and everything. And then I got done and I was doing the proper husband stuff. Didn't leave my stuff out because I've heard that many times. You left all your shit out last night. You know, so anyway, I cleaned up all the pots, washed the pot and everything, put it away. But then as I was moving to put the lid away, this like heavy lead lid that goes on a huge, I don't know, 15-quart pot, you know, and me, because it's already like 10 o'clock at night, I didn't have shoes on. I'm reaching to the cabinet to put the lid away,
Mm.
right on my foot, and I'm like,
Oh.
but the cool thing was I was in the kitchen, I was right next to the freezer, so I grabbed the ice pack immediately, and I came
Mm.
in here and sat down. But it's a little stiff and a little sore today, but it does. I'm not in agony, so
I would
I guess that's
imagine it is.
I guess that's a good sign. Uh-oh. So Dale smells thunderstorms down here. Up here, oh, the sun's still out up here, but it does look like it's kind of maybe trying to cloud up. We're a little far north. It's supposed to be hitting the south down there where Dale's at a lot more than us. Thank you very much, good sir, for coming in, and you have a good rest. Hope to see you next week. Hello, heyo, heyo. It's okay, totally cool. Have been talking about. First off, we were talking about the kind of shots that you might try to take in springtime when you get back to, using your drone and stuff again. And if y'all haven't seen it already, you can go over to Josh's channel. He's got a demolition video that's pretty cool to watch over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they took down some stuff over there. He actually got, and he's a good ways away, but I think it was the Air 3S you were using. So that would be
Cool.
something cool. I guess that's a different kind of thing for the springtime, but that's kind of an any season kind of thing. It's a demolition video, so that's kind
Hmm.
of cool. Wait a minute, I thought Bill was going to say he uses the refrigerator for his swear box. Yeah, boy.
I swear to God, I thought he was going to say he screamed into the freezer.
No, no, man. It was one of them, because I'm at the point now in my life to where, I've done so many stupid things like that, it's like, because I felt it slip out of my hand and I was like, all right. I was just,
Wait for it. Wait for it.
because it seemed like it took 14 seconds to drop from my hand to hit my foot, because I did have enough time to clinch.
You should have backed up.
No, I couldn't because I was leaning forward. I had
Mm.
pulled the door open to put it inside, so all my weight was on the foot that it fell on.
You were just praying. Please don't hit
Yeah,
my foot.
I was like, please, 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 because I told my wife last night, I was like, I did something stupid. I hope it's okay. Right now it feels okay because I got ice on it. So anyway, okay. Hey, glad to actually see we got Props Off in the house. Okay, if you haven't been over to Props Off's channel, you need to go over there because Props Off is having a giveaway for headphones, celebrating his channel and his subscribers and everything. So it seems like I've tried to share it in. First off, I tried to share it in Old Farts with Drones, and it was taken down, and I got a warning for doing it. So then I had to post just his channel and explain, hey, this guy has a lot of good drone content. Please go over there and check because obviously nobody in Old Farts with Drones checked, followed the link to find out where it was at. Otherwise they would have found out, okay, this is a drone channel, cool, we get it. But instead they just pulled it down and I got a warning. I was like, well, whatever. So anyway, please get over there and check out his channel and enter the contest because he's really playing up the headphones, talking about how good they are and everything. So get over there and check that out. Glad to have you in the house, Waypoint, New England. Brian. Let's see, wait a minute. Yes, you're very welcome for that. Brian, they're asking, are you going to the South Florida Drone Meetup? Oh no, I didn't get in any trouble. I just thought it was hilarious. Because to be honest with you, there's too many people in Old Farts with Drones. It's like the Wild Wild West in there,
He
man.
said contest was closed Monday at 10.
Okay, cool. There you go. Okay, so hopefully you all paid attention.
Hey,
Oh, so
Brian.
I was that close, but I didn't. Okay, I get you. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go. Okay, so again, I'm gonna ask. We've got a few new people that popped in. First off, when it's springtime, like things are going and it's getting warmer now, where are some of your favorite places to fly? And what kind of techniques do you do? You have any special techniques that you've invented yourself that you can just give us the name? You don't have to share it if you don't want everybody else to know. Or is there some techniques that you've seen on other channels that you like to see? Like I had mentioned earlier, we were talking about the reveal shot, the cinematic moves, tracking shots, dolly zooms, those kind of things. So, are there any of those that you all, you know, or any places that you go to that you kind of do? Is there any kind of special moves that you like to do in your editing, Randy, or shots that you try to take that you want to try to incorporate in your videos that you try to, that's like signature, Mad Props Media. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Nothing really like that signature wise. I've only flown my Air 3 probably a handful of times in the past 4 months because I've been doing a lot of FPV. But yeah, I just kind of just wing it. I don't really have a plan when I go out. I just try to, see what works for me.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody? Okay, so I'm at the point to where I could discuss editing. Oh, that's not me. That was interesting. Hey, there you go. There's a good question. I have not ever used Litchi. I've never used Drone Deploy or any of those. What about
Mm-mm.
you, Randy?
No, uh,
Anybody else use those?
that's mapping software.
Drone Deploy. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I've never used it. I couldn't tell you for sure. I've heard the name.
No,
I've heard various people talk about it, but I
right.
could not begin to tell you where or how it would be used for. Okay, can you break down what that might be used for? This will be my first year shooting in the spring. Ooh, yeah, very cool. Ron heard me. He was like, "Bill's over there just dying. I need to go in and save him before he."
Fashionably late.
I had my spies, let me know what was going on.
Well, no, I knew that you had appeared on Johnny's show really quickly and were there for a little bit. So I had figured I was like, well, he's going to try to eat something, I guess, really quick and then come back, or because I didn't know what the plan was, but I knew you were going to come in. So,
Yeah, I had a little time to get something to eat and load the dishwasher and do my duties, but I'm ready to go now. And we had a beautiful kind of sunset here. Not the sunset really, but the other way. We had some of those beautiful clouds you've ever seen tonight. So right before I got in Johnny's show, I was out catching those big, the gigantic cumulus clouds.
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what. Okay, I'm gonna
How
go.
was how was the wind, Ron?
It was a little breezy, but I was flying the Air 3S, so I was
Yeah.
fine.
Anything under 40, you're good.
Yeah, yeah. Just about, yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Especially if
much.
you don't want to go too far.
Okay,
Right.
there's the sun is still out here. So here's
Oh
what I'm going to do.
wow.
Well, we're supposed to be getting severe storms here, uh, but so it's supposedly hitting the lower, like the southwestern part of the state, and I'm kind of more in the middle to northern part of the state, and over towards the west. I'm like I'm sitting on the coast, but I'm on the inlet. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
so
guess what? We're supposed to be getting severe storms at 8:50. So it's right now. I'm supposed to get severe storms, but I got nothing so
okay,
far.
let's see. Let me show you. So let me share. I'm gonna come back over. You know how this is so intricate now. Okay, so here we go. This is Wednesday, March 26th, and it's saying that at 6:15 it's going to be mostly sunny, which is what I've got. Then it's
Yeah.
going to be at 6:45. It's going to go from 6:15. So say from an hour from now, it's going to go from mostly sunny, which it's really pretty outside, to at 6:45, it's going to go to partly cloudy, and then at 7 o'clock, we're going to be in thunderstorms.
Wow,
And
that's a fast decline.
they're predicting that we may have golf ball sized hail. So I'm like, what?
You got a garage, Bill?
No, I don't. My wife was asking me. She's like, can we put like tarps over the cars? And I was like, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
gonna help.
Here's my
75.
weather, but none of it's happening quite yet, even though that's the
Oh, heavy
prediction.
rain. Yep, 75. Well, we
Right.
actually had like 70 degrees here today.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, wow. And I'm like, oh God, please no.
It's
I hope it's
supposed to
not.
be supposed to be 80 here on Saturday.
Oh wow.
You'll be warmer than we are in Florida, Randy.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but pretty close.
Bill, I don't want to disrupt the show here, but Randy, when will you be arriving for the South Florida drone meetup?
Probably Friday afternoon, about
Okay,
maybe
okay,
around 12.
And he is bringing
okay.
every drone he owns.
Every single drone, huh?
Yeah, we've already talked
Sure.
about this. Okay, Ron, since you're here now, we can get back onto the subject of what the show
Okay.
was about, and I can get your point of view to add to this. So we've already been through like Randy and I have discussed where some of our favorite places to fly were, and we've already talked about some really cool spring places to fly, being countryside fields where the butterflies and stuff are flying, and the flowers are blooming, and the green's really bright and crisp and everything. Coastal areas and beaches, of course, you need to live up there on the beach in New Jersey, so you know exactly
Mhm.
what that's about. Mountain views, like if you can get up in the mountains and do some snow caps, colors and stuff like that, especially in the springtime. And you can kind of like bounce off the spring down at the bottom, and then the snow caps up in the mountains and stuff like that. And then urban, like where you go into a city and you get all the neat architecture and all the different lines and stuff that you get in there. Like Randy was talking about wanting to fly in a city at night and do stuff like that. So, and then we went from that into different flying techniques, talking about like the reveal shot, tracking shots, cinematic moves, the dolly zoom. So anything that you could kind of add to that, Ron, would be great. Like if you, Ron, are going to make a cinematic video for the Air 3S, do you have special moves that you use? Is there a specific area that you like to always shoot to show off a new device, or do you like to always change up your shooting places?
I mean, I'm a bad traveler as far as getting different landscapes. I mean, since I got into drones, I've kind of like it's been where I kind of stopped working, so I haven't traveled as much because you don't have as much money as when you're working. So, I
Mm.
mean, I really haven't. Most places I've gone with a drone has been kind of coastal locations, kind of similar to where I live in New Jersey, like down here in Florida. So I get a lot of coastal kind of flat landing shots or whatever. But I would love to get some more mountains. I did go up to North Jersey last fall and shot some waterfalls in. I wouldn't call them the mountains, but at least they had hills and stuff up there. You kind of like where Randy and I used to live. Well, Randy still lives there, where we had the rolling hills and stuff and whatever. So I
Hmm.
did get to see some more terrain up there. But I would love to get some of those locations you just mentioned. As far as doing drone reviews and demos, one of my tricks is, and other people do the same thing. When I get a brand new drone and fly for the first time, my initial flight, I usually try to do it in the air of Lucy the Elephant because I've done so many other first flights there. It gives people a perspective. They can kind of compare the shots I got with the previous drone with the new drones because I'm shooting in the same location, same subjects. So it gives them a reference point to see if the drone is better or different, or it's a better in low light or so on. So I kind of try to stick to that one place for my initial reviews. Again, it gives people a baseline of what I did on the last drone,
Yeah,
if,
yeah, it
if
totally
that
makes
helps.
sense. That's
Hmm.
kind of. I guess I should have said that, but since I don't personally have any review videos on my channel, like I need to start doing reviews videos and using the my backyard and the view as like you said,
Yeah.
as a way
Yep.
for everyone to get a standard set.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because you do every review at a different location, people have no kind of comparison. But if they've been watching all your videos, because the lighting, the seating, everything look different, so it's
I need
again,
to
it's
go back and
hard
look
to
at
get a
that.
baseline.
Want some continuity?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get
And
that
I'm
remote
lucky to
tail
have
put
something
up.
like Lucy there. I'm kind of have something that's kind of interesting to look at when you're doing these. I'm not just looking at an empty beach or something like that. You got this, you know, couple 100 feet elephant sticking there.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm just looking at some because I was talking about the severe weather here, and I'm trying to catch. I've not hit everybody's chat, but I'm trying to catch up because hey, Chris Hope, good to see you, sir. Two
Hey,
minutes
Chris.
ago. See, I'm trying to get there, and Dusty came in like 10 minutes ago. Let's see, keep rolling. Let's see, roll, 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 roll. And I highlighted. Wait a minute, go back up here. Drone days, and then Jim's droning's in here. And Danny's in here. He's talking about flying in Sedona very soon.
Yeah, I would
Um,
love to fly in Sedona. I mean, I've been there, but not before drones.
okay, I'm just hang on. My next subject is what software you use. So I was trying to,
Okay.
since Ron had just come in,
Yeah,
Ron was
yeah.
kind of giving us an idea of what kind of, do you have any specific moves or
Oh,
cinematic things that you do that are just kind of signature Ron, or do you kind of follow along with the basics that,
yeah. I'm just a real basic guy, orbits, kind of more manual
um,
orbits, manual dronies, just the basic moves that that you see in all videos. I don't have anything I don't think special that I do that somebody else doesn't do.
okay, so we've kind of gotten Ron caught up now, and
Well,
we'll move on.
software wise, for video and Final Cut, and for photos, mostly Lightroom with a little Neo thrown in on the side.
Okay, well, more, I guess what I would kind of say is, what kind of software you use is cool because I use a lot of what Ron's talking about, but sometimes I use a different photo software because I can use it to design my thumbnails for in here.
Hmm.
Is or Photo Director 365.
That's what I use.
I do have Resolve. I do have Final Cut Pro. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually edited it a video a video for upload to YouTube because mainly I've been doing live streams and stuff. Just talking about drones and stuff. I mean, I still fly, but with everybody being so hypocritical and crazy about stuff, I don't want to have somebody going, "You got 16 views on your video. You owe us money."
Yeah, yeah, I'm a monetized channel. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was like, I don't want
yeah,
to be hearing all this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And I see people naming this software. There, no way am I telling you Final Cut's the best video software. It's just the one I've used. I know how to use it. I'm probably never going to switch because I don't want to learn a new software. So I'm probably Final
That's
Cut
my,
for life because that's
that's my
that's what
me
I
too.
know.
I don't. I'm
That's
reluctant to learn a new editing software, but I
this is
really want to.
this is one of my favorite drones of all time. I still have mine.
What's that?
And
What's that, Bill?
Air 2S.
Hmm.
See, Jim's using DaVinci Resolve and Neo. Now, Ron and I been Skylum followers for a long time now.
Yep. Yep.
Long time, man.
Yep.
What was the one called that was just supposedly for drone photos?
Yeah. I
I can't even
forget.
remember the
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
of it now,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're looking for the most bang for your buck, get Power Director Studio because it comes with the video editing software, photo editor, comes with an audio editor, color
Wow.
grading, and it's like I think it's like $130 a year, and
Okay.
it does everything I need to do. It only exports max at 4K, but it works well for what I need.
Yeah, Final Cut I think only exports at 4K too. I mean, I bought Final Cuts. You pay for it once, but like if you go from I mean older
Okay.
generation. In other words, I've used Final Cut for 10 years. I only paid $2.99 once, and it has audio editing and
Now,
it
now,
does everything you mentioned, Randy, except for photos.
okay, if
Yeah,
they
exactly.
put out an update, do you get the update or do you gotta pay for the update?
No, I've
No,
gotten every since I paid my $2.99. I've gotten every update and haven't been charged.
same with
That's
me.
pretty
It's been
sweet.
like
I
eight
can't lie.
years now, and the same thing with Resolve. I've had Resolve probably for about 6 years now. Never paid for an upgrade.
No, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could find something like that.
Will it stay that way? I can't guarantee it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's another Bill's saying. The next time Apple does software, they could charge 299 again. That could happen tomorrow, next week, next month. But so far, I've been again 10 years with the same 299.
That's nice. I'm tired of subscriptions.
LumaFusion.
I got
Ron
too
knows
many subscriptions.
LumaFusion,
Yeah,
right?
I lose Nubi. Of course, you have to pay for that every once in a while. And Lightroom, I'm on that creator combo. I only pay
Hmm.
$10 a month for Lightroom, so I guess I don't.
David, what's up,
And
buddy?
if you pay yearly, you get even less. So I only pay a little over $100 a year for Lightroom, and that gives me access to Photoshop too, or whatever. And that
Yeah.
gives me access to a whole bunch of online storage. Like I've got a lot of online storage for my photos on. And why I like Lightroom CC, not the Lightroom Classic, is I have it on the iPad, the iPhone, for one price, and you can move to the devices. So if you edit a photo on one device, the edits move over to the other device. So you can start an edit on your phone and then finish it on your iPad or your laptop or whatever. So I kind of like the way it shares the work you've done on them. So
Yeah, that's convenient.
Okay, Dale posted that link earlier, and that's
oh
because. Wait a minute, Dale posted a link earlier. Hang on, he was, and I cause told my wife. I was talking about how my wife said it. Well, can we throw tarps over the car and protect them from the hail and stuff?
yeah, yeah, the hell
Okay,
yeah,
so Dale
yeah.
posted a link from King Five. So I want to share. I want to share. This is my local TV station telling us how to out of
Okay,
Seattle. Telling us how to protect our vehicle. This is so funny. And I followed the
Go,
link. I followed the link. Ready?
I'll
And
Lane.
and
and
go
I
to your
followed
nearest
the
gas
link.
station.
I followed the link, and we got the page you're seeking
Oh boy,
found. And
oh
this is
boy.
it. You see it up here? I'll even highlight it. It says King5.com article, weather blog, how to protect your car hail thunderstorm. And found page not found. So
Props off for saying
you,
cardboard is good for
you know
hail.
what I guess King Five's saying. Hang on, I gotta do this. King Five's saying if it's a hailstorm and they're the size of golf balls, you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah. Unless
Pretty
you have a
much.
garage. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was hilarious.
Hey, did
404.
you
Yep.
see, Bill? Did you see AZ Drone Dude ask you a question? He said, Bill, did you ever order the Bamboo H2D printer?
No, sir. I have not ordered.
Okay.
We're now. Here's that's what I'm saying. Ron could possibly be here next week, but maybe just for like a brief second. So
Yeah.
he's going to be gone for the next couple of weeks, and I want to learn. I want to talk more about the bamboo slicer and what can be done with the slicer. Excuse me.
And Bill, maybe if I am here for a brief minute next week, maybe I'll have the celebrity droner along with me.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh-oh.
That would be cool. That's fine too.
Who
Um,
Hmm.
knows?
anyway, and what was I going to say? What was I going to say?
You were talking about you want to learn this printer. Yeah,
And like David was just saying, the H2D printer, which this looks big, but the
yeah, it
H2D
does.
is like this big.
Oh boy,
It's like massive, man.
And it's got a bigger
monster.
footprint.
It's got a bigger build plate.
So you'll be able to
Uh
make better creations with that printer, Bill.
oh, cardboard is good for hell. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, I
I
don't.
think it's just gonna be more convenient with the dual tool head, right, Bill?
I
Not
don't
really
know.
do more stuff, maybe a little bit bigger stuff.
Well, they were saying that you would basically. I think it's not because we were thinking maybe it would cut down on waste, but then Bamboo pointed out they're like, no, you'll use less filament because you're not going to be purging every single time. And so you're like if you got red and blue and you're doing your red level, then it'll just switch to the blue. It won't have to go ahead, purge all the red out, feed the
Right.
blue back in, do another test purge, do another,
So it'd be
prime
perfect
tower.
for like dual colors, two colors
Yeah.
that'd work flawlessly.
Plus, you got the new what is it, AMS two or AMS?
Pro.
Yeah, Pro.
It's
So
got a
no,
heater.
AZ Drone Dude said he ordered the printer and it's shipped. It'll be shipped April 30th.
did you
Hmm.
order it with the laser or without the laser?
Oh, he's got a laser.
He
Yeah, but
probably
it
got it
comes with
for
a
you.
10 watt to begin with, but you can get the upgraded to a 40 watt. And like Randy and I were talking about before we went live, we're thinking about, because the laser kicks up some serious dirt and carcinogens and stuff, even worse than the 3D printer itself
Oh
does.
wow.
It's
And
gonna
you
get dirty.
really, yeah, you've got to clean the inside of that chamber pretty regularly, even, if it's just dedicated to doing the engraving and cutting and stuff. So,
I heard once. I don't know. Can't remember where I heard it from, but I heard once you start using the laser and then go
be
back to
careful.
3D printing, you run into a lot of issues. But
Yeah, and like if you get the decked out one with the laser and everything, man, it's like after he's shipping and everything, it's like 4 grand.
he got the one without the laser.
Who did? David? Yes.
Yeah, Dave,
David,
that's the one without the laser.
smart man.
Yeah, there you go. And you probably don't even have it in the same spot. And you've got ducts running off your lasers, venting probably all the garbage outside. I just don't, man. I mean, it looks cool as hell to me. But I just got this, and like Randy and I were talking about, this has got a big build plate in it already.
That does
Maybe
everything you need plus more.
yeah, maybe in 6 months I'll try to sell it or something. But I really don't see. I think it's cool. Like I was talking to him about, I would like to be able to run an old AMS and a new AMS, but I'm not
Right.
100% sure, but I don't think I can do that. That'll be something I'll look into to talk about next week as well. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so, oh, wait a minute. Was Ron here for the reveal of the battery?
I did not see the battery.
Okay, let me go. I gotta go back over here to. Okay, so you do know that the DJI Power 2000 hit the FCC database about 3 days ago.
I did see that.
You also know that I sent you and Randy and Gary a picture in our private chat of the possible battery. Okay, well since
Hmm.
then, since that time, I have since went to X, Twitter, whichever you wish to call it, and I found a video that seems to talk about something being released tomorrow.
Oh,
Let's see. I will share it one more time for those people that got here late. Okay,
like me.
supposedly there is going, and it's already in the FCC database, so we know that it isn't a real thing. We do
Right.
know that the Power 1000 has been like cut to the quick since Christmas time. You know.
It was 419 just the other day.
Yeah, so I'm just like they keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. So anyway, here we go. I will go back over here, and this is for your benefit, Mr. Ron Brown.
Ah,
Wow!
roll that clip, Bill.
It's just you see a battery here, and it's kind of giving you some, lettering.
I got to
It's
practice
saying
my Mandarin
tomorrow.
here.
It's saying tomorrow.
Okay.
And it just goes boom. It does look a little like Randy said. It does look a little bit fatter,
Uh huh.
and I'm not. And just that's it. That's just the teaser. It's all you
Yeah,
get.
yeah. Yeah, it's
It's
reloop mode.
looping,
Yeah, yeah,
looping, looping,
looping.
looping.
I like looping.
So anyway,
So,
wait.
yeah. So, and they say that this may be more of something that you could more or less power your house and stuff during blackout. So it may be beyond just charging your drones up
Well, they had talked.
or
I've heard.
camping. It can be a good camping, uh, uh, power supply. Jim, I promise not to buy any more bamboo, but he's
I know,
got one
as
really
I'm saying,
spec.
but the thing about it's like the whole point is that thing, that build plate, and that thing is massive. It's like 1.25 the size of this thing. I mean, it's like a little bit. I don't think it's a little bit fatter. I think it's wider.
Bill, is it the Mavic 4 of printers?
Oh yeah, it's their new
Yeah.
flagship printer.
Oh
It's
yeah.
their new flagship printer.
I had to bring it back to the drones there, guys.
Johnny is good at printing duck. What? What are y'all doing, man?
Johnny
Okay,
told me Johnny told me he printed some
Chris,
duck.
Chris, Chris has been really, really busy. He still has not fired up his X. Okay, wait a minute, Chris. Okay, now you got the X1C, and you hadn't fired it up yet, and so Bamboo went ahead and put out the H2D. So are you going to wait and then fire up the X1C when they come out with the R427964X?
Wow, Bill, you're blowing me away with these numbers.
Oh no, I just yeah, I love this. It's like Randy said, I don't really need it for anything else. I just got my first maintenance notice after having it since
Oh
December.
wow, wow.
So that will be what I'll do next is 419 plus a $40 coupon.
Oh, that yeah. Heck,
So
the heck with the
So it may very
2,000.
well be that could be the teaser for everybody else because I don't think we've ever gotten like the battery teasers before.
And Bill, don't I remember this correctly? When the Power 1000 and the smaller one came out, they weren't immediately available for the U.S. They were
Right.
only for China when they first were announced.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So it could be that they release it over there, or it's being released now because it's probably already tomorrow over there.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then we'll hear about it here in another day or two, probably on Drone DJ or Drone XL, and then we'll be like okay, and then probably by August September it'll start showing up here.
you know what this
Right.
tells me though?
What?
That the Power 1000 is not going to be available for much longer. So get it while it's hot.
Do
Oh
you
yeah,
think it'll
yeah,
even
yeah.
go? Do you think it'll even go cheaper than 419, Randy? Since
I
it's
don't
end of
think
Well, you
so.
got a
life.
$40 coupon, so that's going to be 419. So like what 489?
I don't think it's going to go
Four
away.
seventy
480,
nine.
479,
479.
479.
It's
Yeah,
going to stay at that price and then it's going to disappear.
yeah, exactly. Maybe
So,
it's
and the new one, of course, will be like what, like 1,000 or something. So, if you want to, it may be wise to swoop in and get that at 419
see
Yep.
minus
that thing's a
40.
beast. That thing's a beast.
Yep.
And you guys notice that they never have the little Power 500 on sale. It's always the bigger ones. Like maybe they're not going to replace the smaller one.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, this is okay. This is 256 by 256 by 256.
That's the same thing as mine as the A1. Same size build plate.
Same size as the P1S.
Yep.
So that thing is it's like twice as big as this almost.
And it's an
Well,
odd shape. It's not square. It's like rectangle.
Yeah,
huh.
yeah, it is. Oh, what? Oh yeah, your Prusa is bigger, but
Oh,
not than the H2D though, right, David? That's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to
bigger.
say.
H2D is like
Oh wait a minute, he's
320,
saying
350.
it isn't 420. Okay, I don't know. I haven't. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You're gonna make me go do it, aren't you?
The H2D is like 350 by 320 by like 318 or something.
You're just gonna make me do it, man. You're just
It's
gonna
like
make me
three
do it.
different numbers.
David said the X1C is the perfect printer, Bill.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I did. That's what I put in there. Okay, here we go. So this will give. We're gonna go away from this in a moment, but since we've already tapped on it, we might as well throw this thing in there. So here it is. Wait a minute. Let me go back over here to the page, and I gotta go
Look at
scroll
all that. Look at
back.
all that neat stuff you could print.
Here we go. Here it is. There is
There it
the
is.
one. We want to learn more. Let's see. Is it switching for me? Yeah,
The
there we
thing is
go.
definitely beastly.
It is. It's massive, man.
It is a beast.
Okay, so it's deeper. That's where the rectangle comes in. It's not
Right.
Okay.
wider. It's deeper. Huh, it's
See
not
that
wider. It's
you
deeper.
better have a
I need to
you better
stop
have a
there
you
before I
better
get
have a
filled with my
like a
water.
long counter or a wide counter.
Yeah.
We go back in here. Okay. We'll scroll down.
I have my stuff sitting on a old conference table from my job, and it weighs like 200 pounds, so it's
So it
perfect
can
for.
support anything,
I
yeah.
just wish
Yeah.
I had like I wish like the new one has like dampeners on the bottom. Like it's got a dampener that goes all the way around
You
and
can buy
soft
Oh.
them.
feet.
You can buy them for the F1C there, Bo.
Yeah, but I just you know how it goes.
Hey,
I'm like,
this one
baby,
has
baby, baby.
this one has next gen filament
Wait a minute. Here we go.
management.
Let me. Wait a minute. I gotta do this. It's like, baby. I'm not buying drones anymore.
Ah.
She's like, but you just got that printer and you haven't done that much with it.
As soon as she sees the price, she's gonna say, "Go back to drones."
No, because
You
I
can
got the
get that
X1C
Mavic 4
combo,
now,
man.
Bill.
I got the X1C Hey, Christmas is coming again.
It
There
always does. Yeah, it
you
always
go.
does.
But the thing about it is I if we here's okay. So we kind of let me go back over here. We kind of rambled around and rambled around.
I hope
So
you didn't
here
go squirrel.
the techniques that I wanted to discuss. Everybody was talking about their different go tos. More along the lines, but it doesn't really matter which program you use in order to get views on YouTube. You will need to use things like color grading, stabilization, picking out the proper music, doing things to keep people engaged with your video, like titles or captions or doing the
I
voiceover
hate
or
color
things like
grading.
that. So that's more of what I was talking about in your techniques of editing in order to get more views on YouTube. What software you use doesn't matter as long if you put out crap product. You know, you could be using Adobe all day long at the paying top tier prices for it and have absolutely access to every little thing they had, but your editing style or your computer's ability to edit that software may be a shortcoming for you. So it doesn't matter what kind of software you use as long as you can color grade properly, do things that are catchy and will engage your audience. What else was I saying? What type of music you pick out? Are you going to do a voiceover? Are you going to do a voiceover with music? Are you going to do kind of like a history lesson, that kind of thing? And like Randy's talking about with his FPV drones. Are you going to run it through a stabilization software before you would upload the video? Would you do it straight? I don't know if anybody knows, but Dan basically kind of quit flying the flippy floppy FPV stuff and kind of went to cinematic
Oh,
flying. I
I'm
tend to
kind of
like
right in the middle.
I kind of like the cinematic flying a lot more
Yeah.
hmm
because I've seen so many of the other videos, people flying gates. You know, I've seen Mr. Steele putting stuff up on. He'll like put. He has a. I saw if y'all don't ever saw it. I think he put like a little a rubber stamp on the bottom and he put ink on it. He dipped it in the ink, all from his controller, and then he flew it up to the top of a water tower and he flipped it up on its top on its back and kissed the water tower and left his little logo stamped on the side of that water tower. I'm
Oh
like, I've
wow.
seen that stuff a lot. I've seen people do tricks like that. So I've seen Drew do some incredible flying. And then found out that John was like, well, he's got another camera that he's viewing, so you're seeing the camera that's meant to get all the cinematic stuff, but that's not the camera he's flying with. And I was like, okay, I get you, I get what you're saying now.
Did you see
So
the
Hey,
Mount
hey,
Everest video?
seen what?
no. Mount
The
Everest, no.
Mr. Steele, he took his FPV drone to the top of Mount Everest and dove down. It was pretty awesome.
Oh no, I have not
That's
seen
really
that.
wanting to get the shot when you go to Mount Everest to
Yeah,
fly.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
I have not seen
well
that.
he went from the bottom and literally went all the way up the mountain with the drone.
And
It was really cool.
that's another thing too. The new, as you can see over here, the new printer also has a new AMS. We were talking about that earlier, and it has a built-in drying system in it. That's the Pro that has the dry. Both of them have a dry. No, there's a single. The Pro is the single dryer, right? And then the AMS two has a dryer for all four built in.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
the Pro is just a single, and it'll go up. Wait, I think the AMS goes up to 65, and then the Pro goes up to 85, but it'll just do one roll, I
Hey,
think.
Bill, before we get too far away, you were talking about the YouTube tips that we discussed last week. Well, remember we talked about the one tip where you said to upload to put your video up as scheduled 24 hours ahead of time and get all your tags, your keywords, your what do you call it, the thumbnails, all that
No, I
in
was going to tell us it
24
didn't
hours
work.
hourly rate. Well, guess what, Bill? I followed the advice. I uploaded 3 or 4 videos since the last time I was here, whatever.
Yeah,
And guess what the result was, Bill?
nothing.
These are some of the lowest viewed videos I've ever put out. Um, yeah,
Wow,
yeah, it didn't help at all.
that's crazy. So the
And
scheduling didn't
they were
matter.
mixed videos. Some were drone videos, some were action camera videos. One was about a lizard. So they were all kind of different topics and whatever, and all of them bombed with that new technique.
Oh, Marcel's here. Hey, what's up? Did you print your own shoes yet? No, I have not printed my own shoes yet.
I've been looking at that, printing some Crocs for my kids.
What else?
And
I
you print
printed.
Crocs? Wow.
You can
Yeah,
with
you can.
TPU
Yeah, with TPU. I've been
with
printing
this
Spaceman.
like jelly like
This was
stuff.
what was weird. So I did a different Spaceman to see if maybe I was going to have an issue, but it could be that my filament's a little dry. But this guy, every time I printed him, it would not print his one leg.
Huh.
It was
Wow.
always coming back handicapped.
Watch I use that new printer, Bill.
No, I don't need the new printer. Not
Hey,
yet. I might want that.
Bill, no, go ahead. Finish your thought. Now
I
I
might
want to
want
go
that
back to
Magic 4
something.
Pro.
Um, I hear you. Remember, you asked me about flying tips. This isn't really a flying tip, but it's a recording tip. Say you're going to fly sunrise or sunset, right, Bill?
Uh
You
huh.
don't really want to use log video then D log M because you don't get as much dynamic range. But here's the trick I found. I've been doing this for a little while now. If you have a drone that has HLG in it, switch over to HLG. It's not like D-Log. You don't have to apply a lot or anything at the end. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. And it just brings out the colors, highlights, or whatever. So even if you're not going to do any big color correcting, switch in HLG, and those sunrise and sunset videos are going to have a little extra kind of punch to them.
I always
Try it
forget about
sometime.
HLG. I appreciate you reminding me
Because
about that, Ron.
again, it's not a whole lot of work in post processing. You don't even have to use a fancy color grade. You can just go in. You just
Make a few
change
adjustments.
shadows, saturate just with the regular sliders. You don't have to apply any special luster to it, and it really, lots of times, it really makes a big difference, Randy. And it's easy. It's an easy cheat code. It gets results. You don't have to do much work.
I'm all about easy. That's for sure.
Yep, yep. So that's my tip of the day, Bill. Bill, you've gone mute for some
No,
reason.
because it's that
Oh,
time. My phone's ringing. But
okay.
David pointing out that the AMS2 doesn't have dryers. I don't know. I could have sworn I saw a video guy talking about
Yeah,
it that had dryers in it, but
Hmm.
it would go
Pro
up to
has.
65. Anyway, okay. But the Pro, I could have sworn the Pro was just a single one. But here's the thing: as you can see by my Grateful Dead T-shirt, and if you followed my show for any length of time, you know that I followed the Grateful Dead, and quite a bit. Hang on, got it off
Yep,
here.
yep.
So anyway, so this is be what I would want printed because I've had these for a while, and you can see
Oh,
they're,
like a
they're,
Birkenstock type of shoe.
well, they call them the Deadheads used to call them Jerusalem Cruisers.
Air Jesus.
Okay.
They're
That's
they're
what,
they're Birkenstocks.
Yeah. Us yuppies call them Birkenstocks.
Well,
you heard of Air
company that
Jordans.
that's the company that makes them, but they're really expensive sandals. Like like these sandals. I think when I bought them like 10 years ago, they were like $125 then.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now would be like probably 150, $175. So that would be something that would be really cool. Like, I don't know if any of you all follow Night Train. He's made some little miniature guitars using the wood PLA that they just came out with from bamboo. And I mean, they literally look like teeny tiny Gibson guitars and Fender guitars. It's wild, man.
Wow. Wow. Bill,
Okay.
ever give any Grateful Dead album recommendations on the show?
No, I never have done anything like that.
We'll have
But
to
I
have a
did,
little segment when you recommend certain Grateful Dead records.
or not just that, like shows from the past. Like my favorite all-time show was in Louisville, Kentucky, in Freedom Hall. That's where they play their basketball games. That's the gym.
Okay.
Okay, in Freedom Hall. And basically, what it was, I went there with my friend Rick Rector. We stayed for 2 nights, and they closed the first set both nights with Don't Ease. And in the second night, the encore was Gloria. You know, the
Yeah,
Gloria.
yeah,
Oh,
the old Van Morrison and them song.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And I mean, they just tore it down, man. Bobby was really cranked and hyped for doing it, man. And that the crowd was really, 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 really into it. I mean, I'd been to a bunch of Dead shows already at that point in time, but that was the first one that I had walked out the door and wanted to go back in and beg them to play more. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
turn right
Hey,
around and get back on. Please don't stop.
Bill, I'll give you a little Grateful Dead trivia. In Philadelphia, we had this old 100,000 seat football stadium called JFK that was built in the 1920s or whatever, and was becoming kind of in bad shape by the 80s and 90s. And the Grateful Dead did the last show ever in JFK before they tore it down.
Well, and guess what else? They
But
also did the same thing in Washington at RFK Stadium.
really,
And
they
I was
closed
at
out
that
RFK.
show. And guess who opened for him? Bob Dylan.
Wow, wow.
It was crazy then. I mean, it was awesome 2 nights of shows. Now that
Yeah,
was what had to be
I
my
don't know who
second
opened that
favorite show.
JFK show for him, but yeah.
Well, but the thing about it was because Bob came on stage with them when they did. It was Bob came on stage with them probably about halfway through the second set, and literally
Right.
stayed on stage and played like 8 songs with them.
That's
So
great.
it was just unreal. So anyway, we really went
Anyways.
super squirrel for a minute
We
there.
did. We did for a minute there.
Hey,
But
Ron.
Bill, I got a good streaming recommendation coming up later on,
Oh
Bill.
wait! No, we didn't. We couldn't say we went squirrel because we were talking about the Grateful Dead. So we went off on a trip
Yeah.
a little bit.
We had a trippy squirrel tonight.
Yeah, there we go. The squirrel was drinking the funky water. It's
That
like,
hey,
where's this
Bill,
Kool Aid come from?
that squirrel was wearing tie-dye tonight.
Yeah, and plus he was drinking the Kool Aid. He wasn't drinking water. He was
And he
drinking
had
Kool Aid tonight.
And he had little Birkenstocks on.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 3D printed Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks. Yeah. We really went squirrel now.
Oh, Dan's here now.
And Dan must have heard us talking about him, Bill.
Yeah. This time a little used there. These I've had these shoes for a long time. These have been to many a show.
I can tell.
Yeah, Bill, what's my favorite? I've already said Birkenstocks. That was 2 minutes ago. I'm trying to catch up now. Okay. Okay, everybody's caught up now. The guys are talking. Dan's here. Glad to have you, Dan. Okay, so it is 6:38,
Yes.
and there's really the thing about it is there's not any really major like we talked about. Like I know Bill the drone reviewer talked about the biggest drone leak yet, but we talked about that last week. We literally brought up the article and showed the prices and the dates and all
I
that
have
last week. So
It's such a big leak. We're still talking about it. That's how big it was.
I have a
yeah,
question.
what?
On the specs, it says bigger sensor size than the
Yes.
Mavic 3 Pro. So what
Yes.
is the actual sensor size?
Yeah, that's a good question, Randy. And of course, the Micro Four Third size sensor was in the Mavic 3. But
There we go.
I wonder if this is just a bigger version of the Micro Four Third sensor, or are we moving up to something like a crop sensor?
So like a 4/3 instead of a micro 4/3.
Well, yeah, those those terms get thrown around and confused a lot or whatever because some people tell you that Micro Four Thirds is like a whole camera system that Olympus and Panasonic has, and
Right.
that's a very confusing terminology. But you've seen that size chart where they show from all the way down to what's less than a 1 inch,
Yeah.
all the way up or whatever, and the what do you want to call it, Micro Four Thirds or Four Thirds? Then you see how there's there's um there's something between a crop sensor and micro four thirds, ASPC or whatever. You can just see how they get bigger and bigger as they go along.
Okay.
But Randy, what's confusing things from say that when that chart was invented, now you have sensors that are stacked, they're backside emulated. So in other words, you could take a micro four thirds sensor from today do that thing where you stack it, backslide emulate it, and it may be better than like a full size sensor from 5-10 years ago because of that technology they clapped on it. So and I'm not an engineer scientist at all. I just know that the waters are a little muddy now with all these terms and sensor
Yeah.
sizes because there's
Right.
other factors going on now. So here's my advice: don't buy by the sensor size. Buy by how good the
Right.
video looks to your own eyes.
Yeah.
I was just interested because it said it was bigger. It said
Yeah, I
bigger.
mean, yeah. That caught me off guard too, Randy. And
I
I
want
had
I
to
want to
wait.
say
I'm
something here just a second. I got to go
Had to
squirrel
wait
for a
and
second
see.
about
Ghost
Dan.
going squirrel. Hold
Yeah,
on.
because Dan, when Dan started losing all his weight and everything, he's like, "Don't I look like Vin Diesel?" Don't-" And I'm gonna be straight with you, Dan. Since you've lost all the weight, I think you're John Cena's little brother.
200
Oh,
pounds lighter.
Oh God, man! You
yeah.
should have
No,
Lord.
seen
Dan,
you
Dan,
should have
Dan
seen
looks
Dan
good.
when we
Yeah,
started.
Dan
So he
looks good.
lost.
Yeah, Dan
So
looks
he
real
like
good.
lost
Dan
the whole me.
Dan taught you want to see something. Dan taught me how to stream, right? So Dan's the OG live streamer for drones and stuff, like all the way back to Earth
Mm-hmm.
stuff and beyond.
Yep.
Okay, so Dan basically got me started in it, and then that's what caused me to start drone therapy because I bought my little cheap drones to begin with, and it was a way to release stress instead of venting on other people or punching your fist in the wall or some stupid shit like that.
Right.
So
Right.
for me, it was good.
Hmm.
So I started doing drone therapy, and Dan started with me on here. Billy started with me on here. Dobo started out on here. Bill, the drone reviewer, came on for a while with us on here. So there's been a lot of people kind of went through the drone therapy revolving doors onto bigger and better drone shows. You know,
So
so
that's it.
Randy, I think I may have been in the chat for the very first show.
Okay. Awesome. So,
so
by
hey,
the way
man,
it sounds, I might have my own show in the future.
Oh,
But just if
congrats.
you want to, if it's just or you get pissed off at me and decide you want to go make your own show. So that it's been known to
No,
happen because I tend to rub people the wrong way because I'm
no,
just I'm just
I can't
mean.
commit to something like that right now.
I'm kind of
No
let's see. I'm
worries.
trying to get through here and see if there's anybody. Michael just came in. He's saying, "Hey, Randy, yo."
Randy, we'll get you on Johnny Drone Flyer's new drone guide.
Okay. Yeah. I make it happen.
Uh, wish you all had the same respects for F. What do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean? Maybe I missed something in the chat. I don't because I have
Oh,
FPV drones. I don't
I got
understand.
I got about it too.
Yeah, I haven't invited too, but I actually have FPV drones too.
I don't have actually FPV drones. I got about it too. Oh, I got the Neo. I got the Neo too. I got two drones that can fly FPV.
There you
I
go.
missed it. What happened?
Somebody disrespected the FPV drone flyers.
Oh, hey.
It's
Gotta get the
I think
booty quick.
sometimes FPV drone pilots just get a bad rap. It's
Yeah,
not
get a bad
anything.
rap.
You know
It's
what they say?
they've done some
Don't
wild and crazy shit.
don't hate me because you ain't me.
I like I don't hate you because if I was you, I wouldn't be sleeping with my wife. And I'm sorry, I can't pass up on that. Anyway, I gave my wife a compliment. She didn't hear it. She never
Yeah.
liked you to come
We'll
in here.
we'll replay it
But
for her.
shut up.
Clip it.
Okay, I could have sworn. Okay, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to go over here and look.
I'm sitting over
Okay,
here
so
watching.
we're at 15 minutes till, and Ron's already got me doing Grateful Dead stuff,
And
and
I gotta do my streaming recommendation.
well, I've got streaming recommendations too, because there's
Okay.
actually a brand new family video that came out
Oh.
today. So I'm not going to say it yet. Wait a minute.
Well, you
Wait a minute.
don't.
Wait a minute. Bobby Buttafuoco.
That
Bobby
name's
Butt.
familiar. That
No,
name's
because
familiar,
it's
Bill.
Joey Buttafuoco. It didn't have to do with Bobby Buttafuoco. I don't know where
Okay.
Bobby Buttafuoco came from. I know Joey Buttafuoco. Wasn't he the one that had, what was her name? What was her name? She was involved with him and somebody else, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
One of them weird things. I don't even know how. That's a weird tangent to get off on. Okay, so 15 minutes till Ron. You go ahead and give us your streaming recommendation.
Of course, I've got to come up with a title though.
Hey,
Yeah,
Herman.
give me a few more minutes, but I've got
Okay,
to come up
okay,
with my
okay.
title.
Well, the one that I'm talking about is The Lion King Mufasa. Actually came out
Oh,
on Disney Plus today,
okay.
and I know my daughter enjoyed it, and it basically helped me take a nap before I came in here. So, but it's one of the like the live action versions.
Yeah, I've seen
So
the previews. Yes. Hmm.
it looked pretty cool. I'm gonna eat my last neuro gum.
Okay, Bill, I'm ready for mine now. About 5 years ago on Netflix, I used to watch these kind of Marvel Defender shows, and Daredevil was one of them. And since that time, Disney has acquired kind of, I guess, kind of all the Marvel things and whatever. So Daredevil Born Again has come back, and I've watched the first three episodes, and it has all the actors and characters from the original from 5 years ago. I mean, I think there were three seasons of Daredevil on Netflix, and I'm really enjoying it. And Fisk is back now. One of my favorite characters, his partner got killed in the, well, I shouldn't say anything. Well, it happened in the first 15 minutes, so not many spoilers. It barely got started, and his buddy got killed. But I highly recommend, if you like the old Daredevil, this one's again, it's the same thing, same cast, same characters, whatever. So it's back again.
So you're talking about on Disney Plus, right?
It's on Disney Plus now, but it was on Netflix 5 years or more ago.
Okay. And okay, I'll say this: since we were here last, I have watched Honora,
Oh, the Best Picture winner, Bill.
Best Picture, yes.
Yes.
And although I am kind of questioning whether it was truly Best Picture of the year, but after watching the movie all the way through, I can see why she got Best Actress
Okay.
because yeah, because my wife and I were like, oh, I don't see why, I don't, and then by the end of the movie, we were like, or like halfway through the movie, we were like, well, she's just a tramp, she's just, and I was like, well, she's doing a good job because that's what she's supposed to make us feel like. And by the end of the movie, man, we were really drawn into the character. She had done that good of a job.
Okay.
But I don't think that the rest of the acting around her, and I don't think the cinematics and everything were movie of the year. Now that's the only one I've watched so far. So I
Um,
can't.
yeah. I mean, I didn't. I haven't seen that, but I liked the Bob Dylan movie. I thought the Bob Dylan movie was excellent.
Yeah, I would like to see it as well,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not on any of the. And
And it does have good cinematics as well as good performances from
see, I
Bob
kind of
and
thought that deserved it better. And I
yeah.
haven't seen what's the one with. Oh, I could see his face. The Brutalist is the name of the movie.
Oh, with a famous actors in
Adrian
that.
Brody.
Hey, I love Adrian Brody.
Yeah, so he got Best Actor, but I had heard that Chalamet did a phenomenal job. And what is that? What is that movie called? Are you checking, Ron?
No, no. What am I checking on? Burroughs and Adrian Brody.
Complete Unknown. A Complete Unknown.
Oh, complete unknown. Complete
Yeah,
unknown. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the one you
yeah.
said you liked. And Herman came in. Glad to see you, Herman. Good to see
Hello,
you here.
Herman.
Yes, there you go. And there's one Mark's talking about that I'm anticipating. I want to see Wednesday's part two or season two.
Oh,
Have you
what's
watched any of
Wednesday?
Wednesday, Ron?
What's Wednesday? No, I
On
never heard of it.
Netflix?
Never
Oh my!
heard of it.
It's Wednesday Adams, Ron.
You mean the character from
Yep.
the old TV
And
show?
it's all based around her. Gomez is there.
Oh,
They're all
wow.
there, but she's the central character now.
Oh,
So
wow.
Ron, I'm telling you, and the first season's done. It is, and you could binge it. And I'm telling you
Okay.
right now, if you were in the this much, even this much of an Adams Family fan, you will be addicted to this. I wasn't a huge Adams Family fan because I wasn't. What was his name that played Gomez?
Uh,
Don Adams? No,
yeah,
not Don Adams.
yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of him.
Okay.
So it was difficult for me to really get into the show.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I liked it when I was a kid, but I haven't thought about it much in a
I
long time.
love Wednesday. It's
Okay.
really really cool. You would definitely get a big kick out of it. Um, wait a minute. What? Wait a
I
minute.
guess we're
Wait a
still
minute.
talking
Dan
about
and
FPV.
Marcel are talking about something. You like Botsy?
Bot grinder.
Oh, bot grinder. Okay. But there's a lot
Oh,
of
Bachgrinder's kind of cool. We should get him on the show sometime.
Yeah, I like Buck Grinder.
I've actually met Bachgrinder a couple times in the presence of Weibel with Mikey.
He's a little edgy, but he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Ron.
he's a good guy. Yeah, he's good.
People were asking at the beginning of the show if anybody had word on Mikey, and we were talking back and
Yeah.
forth. And Randy suggested you, and I'm like, I think Ron has the same number we all have,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
Mikey's got radio silence on even people that are close to him.
yeah, so it's like a done
We're
deal.
just wondering if he's doing okay. How's
I
he?
hope he. I hope he. I wish I could tell you. I hope he is, but I can't. I can't say one way or the other.
What are we talking about? Maintaining.
I know he's got a troubled history, and I'm hoping that he's not.
Yep. I'm
You know,
hoping he doesn't fall back to his old ways either. Yep. Yep.
yes. Maybe I'll reach
Yeah,
out to
and
him.
I mean, I'd love to have him. You know, he likes to come down here. I'd love to have him come down here. We wouldn't even have to talk about drones. We could just.
Right.
He's a cool guy
Yeah,
just to hang out
And
with.
I understand. I can understand if why he, what I mean, disappeared from the hobby because something that
Hmm.
you love and then you're prevented from doing it. You don't want to watch
Yep.
everybody else do it.
I still
Yep.
think that
Yep.
that he got screwed. I mean, he should have never just ignored everything and flaunted it in front of him. But in the same sense of the word, nothing was damaged. No one was ever injured. Claiming that he had close calls is one thing.
Punishment has got to fit the crime.
I mean, we've seen
Yep.
other people, do crap like that under the veil of 107, and it's totally okay. And I'm like, that's my issue. I think that there should be a recreational pilot's license and there should be a 107 pilot's license, and the difference being you both have to know the rules and regulations, just like a 16-year-old getting their damn driver's license for the first time has to know the rules in order for you to fly. And then the 107 has the ability to make money. The rules shouldn't be different for one or the other, is what I'm trying to say. I should be able to fly that way and post myself recreationally just as much, but the 107 pilot having the venture of the licensed commercial for that preference can make money and fly recreationally. I'm
Mike,
totally cool with that.
highlight Dan's last comment about Mikey. There is it starts off the reality is the government is the first line, and Dan makes a good point there. If Mikey could have afforded a lawyer or whatever, a lot of that stuff wouldn't have happened to him. Remember, he
Yep.
went into court
There were
against he
people that,
went toward the DA, and he just him sitting there or whatever. He didn't have a defense
He
at
was at their
all.
mercy. He was
yeah, but
just
the
like,
thing
"I
about it
don't
was
lock me up.
people
Do what you got to do."
people offered to help him, and he kept procrastinating and putting it off, and people were trying to shuffle their schedules around to make time to help him and be with him, and he would not take the help. He liked the attention that he got by being the bad guy. People would
Hmm.
say this,
Yep.
and he really wanted to be. And that's the sad thing about YouTube, because Mikey is one of those people that he came on his channel and he let everybody know, I want to be famous,
Right.
and he
Right.
told everybody that was his goal. And he would even say, I can't get people to watch my regular videos, but if I do stupid shit like this, people start to watch my videos, and that's what I crave. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And remember, Mikey pretended to be more dangerous than he actually was.
Hmm.
well, see, that's another thing too. I know one person that when I first met them, when they first came into the hobby, they told me that they had been trying to retire for years and that they were hoping that the drone industry and people would take him in enough to where he could retire and kind of make money off of the drone community. And he is, kind of starting to reach that point, I've noticed. I don't know if you all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say who, but I was kind of surprised, that this kind of slipped under everybody's radar. But anyway, but yeah, and so that's what the goal is. I don't know, so I don't know what to say. But Mikey craved the attention and craved the popularity, and not, I don't say popularity, notoriety, just being noticed. Like, I think that was one of his big things. So,
Hmm.
and I think that no matter what, even though people offered to help him, I reached out to him. I know multiple people in the chat reached out to him. I know, Ron, you've tried to reach out to him. Many people begged him to stop doing the stuff he was doing, but he liked the attention from that he gained from the negativity, I guess. too much. He liked being the rebel and getting that attention is all.
No,
Rebel without a cause.
I
Rebel without
agree.
a cause.
He brought 99% of it on himself, but in my opinion, I think a lifetime ban is a little harsh, even for him thumbing his nose at him, even
Yeah,
for everything
yeah.
he did.
I don't think the
Lifetime
punishment
ban
fits the
is,
crime at all.
yeah, no.
I mean, to be honest with you, all these things that he portrayed as being renegade and rogue, you never, like, once in a while he would do some stupid stuff like push the boundaries and the drone would just sit down because it was beyond range and hadn't hooked up for return to home, or it had reset its return to home. Stuff like that wasn't super, real bright, and I could see those. But him, most of the other stuff he did safely, more safely than a lot of
Hmm.
people who have 107s, and I've seen
Hmm.
videos posted. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, and I'm not trying to put him down for it, but Ken Herron has never been slapped down for stuff like this because he's got a 107. We've seen him flying over people and doing crazy stuff, and he's gotten people on his channel in an uproar. And I'm not trying to bash on Ken. I'm giving an example of how he didn't get into kind of the trouble that Mikey got into, and Mikey didn't do anything as over the top or as drastic as he did to get views.
Mikey got in more trouble than the guy in California that actually hit an airplane.
Hmm.
Exactly.
It's
Well,
because they picked him to set an example for everybody else, saying if you don't follow the rules, this is what's going to happen to you. And they knew he didn't have a way to fight it because he made it known, so they
Yeah.
went after him even harder.
And the guy in California hit the airplane. He turned himself in with his lawyer standing beside him.
oh,
Right,
that needs to be on a
lawyer makes a
T-shirt.
huge difference. It
That needs
definitely
to be
does.
on a T-shirt, man.
Just having a lawyer in your with
Yeah,
you
yeah,
going in the
right there.
courtroom,
Yeah,
you ain't even got to
right there.
say nothing. It changes the whole dynamics.
It does because then the other side has to be very careful what they
Yep.
do and say, and the lawyer's going to make them prove. If they accuse you of something, the lawyer's going to make them prove it.
Oh yeah, lawyer. That was a huge mistake going in without a lawyer.
Yeah, but see, like Dan's pointing out right here, and the thing about it is Dan would like be one of the few people that would say, and I'm not bashing on Ken. What he does with his drone is his business. But the whole point is he did reckless stuff and dangerous stuff that he posted videos on YouTube, and people got mad at him, and he might have moved him over to his membership views, but they're still there, they're still accessible. So it's kind of weird that stuff like that's okay because it's under the veil of 107 as opposed to a recreational pilot that's simply just trying to be a YouTube personality. Because Mikey was more than just flying his drone. Mikey was Philly drone life, and that was part of it. That was as much of his views as the drone footage he was putting up.
Right. He
His
was he
antics
was
and
as
his
much comedian as he was drone pilot.
exactly. So to punish him for flying his drone but being Philly drone life, to me seems ridiculous. And I hate that the guy's gone because it seemed like when he was flying a drone, he was more comfortable. He wasn't introverted as much, and he could make jokes and be, crack jokes and stuff like that. And it was more enjoyable. He used to come on in the mornings when he was exercising and stuff, and he
Yep.
doesn't do any
Yep.
of that.
When he lost the weight. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. But wait a minute, they've got a completely different chat going on.
Guys, I'm gonna head out.
Yep, we're at
It's
that
getting
point
late
in
here.
time.
Yeah, but
We got two
yeah,
more
it's
minutes.
getting
I thank
late.
you, Randy, and you come back next week and we'll do FPV. How about that?
Yes,
I mean,
sir. Sounds
and
good.
Well, I'll take that back. We'll do 3D printing.
Oh,
Somebody's got my
oh, we
brain
can
on
do some
FPV.
FPV. You can do some FPV too. And
Yeah,
Randy,
probably.
I'll see you next Friday afternoon at the hotel lobby.
Yes, sir. I'll see you
Ooh,
then.
listen at you
Oh,
there.
you'll be the one carrying all the drone bags.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. My own drove bags. Yes.
yeah. You'll be the one bringing every drone. Yeah, you'll
The
have these
thing about
big
here,
cases.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm not bashing on anybody or trying to talk bad about it, but
All right, guys. I'll
I've
see you.
had Mikey on this show.
Good night.
See you, Randy. I've had Mikey on this show before, more than once. So if you didn't know that, there's videos probably 4 or 5 times, maybe more, right, Ron?
Yeah. You've invited
So
in Mikey's heyday. You
and Ken
invited him.
Heron,
You wanted him
Ken
to come
Heron's
a
been
lot.
on here
Yeah,
a bunch too. I'm
yeah.
not saying, like I said, what people do with their own drones is their business. I don't think that what Mikey, and that's me, just
Yeah.
me. I personally don't think that what Mikey did deserved a lifetime ban. You know, do I think Mikey got what he asked for? Yeah. I think it was a little harsh, but in the same sense of the word, I can't say I don't understand. You know, I think
Yeah.
that it was a little bit too far, but in the same sense of the word, I can't say that they weren't justified in what they did. I'm not saying that at all. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm just,
And Bob, maybe I don't support everything Mikey did, but I don't support anything anybody did. But I support Mikey as a friend.
yeah,
You have my
yeah.
full support as a friend or whatever. I hope he's doing well. If
And
he
this
needed anything, he could
discussion,
call me. I would do it for him. Just because I didn't agree with every single video he made doesn't my opinion doesn't really matter anyways. But I support Mikey.
well, yeah, and it's like I said, and we've tried to get, I've begged Mikey to come on the show for like 2 years. Ron knows how
Hmm.
much I tried to get
Yep.
Mikey to come back on
Yep.
the show.
Yep.
You know, I just he got very, you know, super introverted and just, you know, and I understand because he was catching flack from all sides, and people were pointing fingers and stuff. I totally get that, but this all started because at the beginning of the stream today, somebody just asked, "Hey, does anybody know how Mikey's doing?" And we were all simply concerned. And then the chat developed from there, and then it came over into here. We started talking about. We haven't been talking about him that long. You know, we talked about some other stuff, but I'm just saying I would love to have him on here just to
Yeah.
see him and know he's okay.
And basically, we've been more supportive than Mikey than you'll see in almost any other show.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I would love to have him on just to talk to him and know he's okay
Yeah, yeah.
in a heartbeat.
We don't have to talk about drones.
Yeah, exactly. We can talk about anything. We can talk about the baseball team or the football team or any of that stuff. So I'm not, you know, I love Mikey. I love 95 or 99.9% of the drone people in the community, you know, and the 0.1%, there's the ones that I
Yeah,
try to be cool with, but they just don't understand me.
and we love Ken Heron too. Just because we put
Yeah,
out a video
exactly.
too doesn't mean we don't love Ken
Exactly.
Heron.
Ken Heron nailed me because I don't know if y'all knew it or not, but I made this logo probably what was it, like 4 years ago? Anyway, it looked like a tiny penis. And Ken
Oh
Heron
yeah,
found
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Ken
yeah,
Heron
yeah,
found it, and
yeah.
Koopy was on here, and we'd already, because John says, "You know what that looks like, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I've already made it, and I've already printed it, posted it everywhere, so I can't run away from it right now." So anyway, Ken came on and made a little video, and the put it to put it nicely, the stubby grew into a fully, yeah, and so, but yeah, you know, Ken's Ken, and you know, he's going to be Ken, and I've accepted him for that. Just like Dan's going to be Dan, and Dan has the right to be Dan. I'm Bill, and I'm going to be Bill. Like, and everybody should accept that. Ron's going to be Ron, and everybody should accept that. You know, and I accept Mikey for being Mikey. I'm just saying, you know. Good night, Bob.
Yep.
Get good
Good
rest.
night,
Have
Bob.
have 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 good dreams about that Mavic 4 Pro you're going to buy,
And I'll
and it's
see.
going
I'll
to be
see.
delivered.
Yeah,
It's
and I'll
going to
see
be
you next
delivered.
Friday, Bob. See you
Yeah,
next Friday, Bob.
yeah. See you. I know. Yes, I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy every week on Wednesday. I talked to Mikey. Yeah, we're just genuinely worried about him. That was all, and that's what all that evolved from was, you know. And then, like I said, some people in the chat were saying one thing, and then you know, I love Mikey, you know,
Yeah,
and I wish
I
that
mean,
hadn't
yeah.
happened.
And we don't know anything. Mikey could have straightened his whole life out now. He could be living the life of Riley right now. He could have got into another hobby. He could be doing better than he ever has in his life now. We don't know.
And we're just simply saying that we're good enough friends to where we were concerned how he was doing. I don't know where he lives. I know that I have two phone numbers, and the last time, you know, the last time I texted one of them, it told me that it was cut off, and in the last three times I've texted the other one, I've gotten no answer. So,
Mm.
and you know, and I don't know what else to do. So nobody, we weren't trying to make a Mikey bashing session, any of that stuff. I think everybody in the drone community has the right to fly their drone the way they want to fly it. And if other people don't like it, then they can fly in a different place, I guess. I don't, I'm not going to judge anybody for what they do with their drones. I might have an opinion, but I'm not going to
Right,
pass judgment on it.
right,
You know?
right,
So
right.
anyway, with that being said, Ron, do you have
Uh-huh.
anything new coming out or anything that you would like to share with the people
Well,
before
I,
we
I
finish this
put a
up?
whole bunch of videos out recently, but apparently I've got to stop doing that 24. I got to stop putting them, schedule them.
Yeah, because it's not working at all.
Yeah, yeah,
Like we
yeah,
were told
yeah,
before, the
yeah.
algorithm has already understand all your work. You don't need to wait; just load it
It,
right up.
it hates the algorithm hates my channel. So that's my. I'm going to leave this on a negative note. The
Wait, wait, wait,
algorithm
wait!
hates
Look at
my
Don.
channel.
Look at Don says.
He's your last stand. That's
He
the
should be.
final word
Wait, wait,
tonight.
wait, wait, wait. He should be less Dan and more Don. You opened the door for that one. I had to take it. All right. Thank you very much, people. It's great to see you and have you here each week. Love every one of you. Please join us next week as we talk more about 3D printing and the H2D. Live long and prosper.
Prosper.
We will